So I just saw the Great Muppet Caper, and I've never seen anything Muppet related in my life ever. Like this is well, I've known that the Muppets were a really big part of pop culture, and I always kind of just shrugged it off as, oh, it was a kids show from a for a generation that just it's not me. I never saw any of it up until now. I didn't really know anything about it except that Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy were in it. I could not I wouldn't have been able to tell anybody anything other than the fact that Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy are in it. I don't even really know that much about either of them. Just that that Frank Oz was involved in Muppet Dumb, and Frank Oz was Yoda in the original Star Wars trilogy. So big points right off the bat. Um, so this review is not skewed by any kind of Muppet nostalgia, I guess I would say, because I gotta say I'm really looking forward to seeing anything else that's Muppet related, because this movie was really good. Was really good. And I mean, really, wow. The first, it's about a 90-minute movie. The first half hour, I would say, is like possibly top three best children's movies I've ever seen. Really, top three. It's it's like right up there with Toy Story 2 and what else would there be? Like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Um, and I have a difference between family movies and children's movies. Family movie is something like Star Wars, the original trilogy, E.T., stuff like that. Kids movies is G stuff, like G-rated things, and this is G-rated, and I loved the hell out of this movie. Yeah, first half hour among truly the best kids movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It's witty. It's funny as hell. It's clever. It's fun. It has really fun puppet work. I can't. There are times when I really feel like I can't see the seams and like in how they're doing some of the puppet work. I mean, obviously there are times that they're clearly throwing the Kermit doll at people, but other than that, I mean, it's really fun and clever and really comes from clearly the people that are making this movie really care. They really care about making a kids movie that not only kids can laugh at, but the parents that are taking them there, they'll get a couple of laughs too. It's a really fun time for pretty much anybody. I would say the first half hour maybe is the definitely the best part, mainly because I think when Miss Piggy shows up, it starts to not be as much fun. Not that I hate Miss Piggy or anything like that. I just don't find her as fun to be around um, as really any of the other Muppets. Particularly Kermit. I finally get it why everybody loves this guy. He's great. So yeah. Also, I don't really know about the human interactions. I don't know. I feel like some of the the actors, like the actual live action actors, like not the people that are voicing and puppeteering, the puppets. I don't think they're that good. And I know Diana Rigg is in this, and she's not good here either on Her Majesty's Secret Service. So that is a problem. That really a lot of the comedy with the live action people doesn't really work. But everything else, so much of the other comedy is so hilarious. I hate fourth wall jokes, and this movie made me laugh really hard at them. I was actually laughing out loud. Kids movies never make me laugh out loud, and it really does take a very special movie in the first place to get me to laugh out loud. Because I guess I'm just a jaded person, a jaded, cynical asshole when I watch movies. Um, Other things about the movie. Yeah. It's a musical. I wasn't really expecting that because again, I don't know anything about the Muppets. I don't know if this is something that they commonly do or anything like that. But I haven't seen that many live action movie musicals. I could probably name all of them, live action at least, because Disney movies and South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut, which is actually my favorite musical and my favorite comedy movie ever. Um, but in terms of live action musicals, I've seen, I could count them on one hand. Uh, Grease, which sucks. Moulin Rouge, which is fascinatingly god awful. Um, Sweeney Todd, I liked a lot. I think I briefly mentioned that in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory review. Um, uh, Les Mis from 2012, I liked that one a lot also. And Poultrygeist, which is a musical. It is a musical. I'm kind of in the middle on that one. It's okay. Being a movie that is intentionally so bad it's good, you kind of run into a lot of problems. But anyway, I'm not talking about poetry, guys. So for the most part, in terms of live action musicals, I'm like right there in the middle. Like you got two that I really like, two that I really don't like, and one right in the middle. So Muppet Caper. Now I'm on live action musical sides. Live action musical side. Um, though I really think that there's a lot of care and it's really fun whenever a musical number comes up. At least for the first half hour, I actually don't really like some of the musical numbers as the movie goes on, like the big Miss Piggy number. Towards the end, I actually don't like. It's one of the few things that I don't really like very much in this movie. Um, but so many of the musical numbers in the movie are really fun. Though the problem that I have with them is that usually, like in the South Park movie, bigger, longer, and uncut, usually the musical numbers actually kind of serve a story purpose. Most of the time, they don't always have to. Like South Park movie, not all of those songs entirely matter to the plot, but most of them do. And really none of them do here. Like none of them really add anything to the plot. Like it's something like, oh, I'm going out on a date, musical number, da, 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 and then it goes into the musical number, and then it's like the opening number. That's fine. You can have your opening number, whatever. But like the Miss Piggy thing when she's at the pageant, it's just like a musical number now. And like, oh, okay, why? Like that actually might be a reason why I don't normally watch musicals, is because I feel like people breaking out into song and dance numbers is kind of silly. That it's just me. If you like musicals, that's fine. It's just myself, and normally, if I'm gonna like a musical, it's normally because it feels natural to characters and stuff like that. So that's again why I like the South Park movie so much. But yeah, it doesn't feel very natural. And another problem is, and this is usually a death note to any musical, is the musical numbers aren't very memorable here. I really can't remember any of them, and I just watched this movie like just now, and I can't really remember any of them, which is a problem. That is a huge problem. But I do know that I was having a lot of fun watching them while I was watching the movie, and it's an incredibly and this movie is overall as a notes yeah overall I would probably say that. Oh, also this movie is not really about a Muppet caper, which I was kind of looking forward to. Like that would be really cool if maybe these characters like went on an actual mystery instead of just we'll just turn it into a romance, which it's a nice romance. Into a romance between Kermit and Miss Piggy, who I don't really like as much. I really just didn't enjoy the movie as much. It really did go from the first half hour being one of the top 3 best children's movies I've ever seen in my life, bar none, into a pretty good children's movie. So overall, I'd probably say that like the first half an hour or so is like a 9. and then like the rest is like a high-ish 6 or something around that range. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just saying that off the top of my head. Um, but overall, I really respect this movie because it's one of the few children's movies I've seen that I really feel you can see that they care. You can see that they actually want to give kids a really good time, jokes they'll actually remember, not just a bunch of stupid shit that they're just gonna see in the theater and they're just gonna forget forever. No, these people really care, and you know what? That's one of my favorite things when I watch a movie. Is just I like to see people care. It's actually really special when you get to see um, people who all clearly want to be there, all really putting a lot of effort in, and it actually paying off. It's actually kind of heartwarming. Oh, um, so yeah, I really I can't begin to describe how shockingly funny I found this movie. It's funny, it's engaging, it's really well made. I was actually surprised by that too. It's got a really nice score. Um, Musical numbers aren't that memorable, and some of the main actors, not Frank Oz and um, Jim Henson, those guys are fucking awesome. Ace is in my book right now. But I just didn't find too many other people that funny. The Muppets are great. The main human people, not as much. You get a couple of good lines in when they just have little snippets of things to say, jokes and stuff. So yeah, I really liked it. I would have given this movie a much higher rating if it weren't for the fact that I find the every pretty much everything after the first half hour to just be it's pretty good. So overall, I'm probably going to give this a solid 8 out of 10. Really great, really loved it, awesome movie.